Hello, welcome to the Wastelands, where everyone's a little mad and crazy is expecting people to respect your past achievements and not immediately turn on you once the danger subsides. It's the curse of being competent. People fear competency because it could replace their own necessity. Regardless, welcome back to the Wastelands. We are very close to finishing the last section of Dragon Age Inquisition. This is probably going to be the last stream in this game where we are going to finish up Trespasser. After Trespasser, it depends on how much time I have left. I might do another game, I might call it short. Depends on how much more content there is in Trespasser, but today is likely going to be the last stream of this game. There have been ups and downs, but it has been quite the adventure. This game is definitely high on my list, and I don't regret playing it. It does have me hyped for Dreadwolf. But for now, let's jump right in and see this story to its end, shall we? Just doing some last minute checking while the game is still loading anyway. But yes, hello Wastelanders. How are you all doing today? It's been quite an adventure getting to this point. And I forgot Darc had a new outfit, which is surprisingly sort of fitting. And it actually makes him slimmer. Hi Shady, how are you? By the way, just to check, how is the audio? Is it clearer? Does it sound better than before? Because I don't think. Because last time you were hearing me through Discord, not through Twitch. How is the sound now? Thank you. I hope I'm actually audible. And yes, look at Dark's outfit. It actually makes him slimmer as a Kunari, which is, I think, the first outfit I have seen that happen on. Okay, so I have checked that out, because at the back side I found that note left by Sandal. So let me just have a look around here. I was like, wait, who's that armor? That is Dorian. Look, Dorian, I know you're a Tevinter mage. I know you guys think you're above the rest, but I don't think Tevinter mages are supposed to defy the laws of physics like that. Well, Dorian has ascended. He is fabulous. I will agree with you there. If there's anybody who's allowed to... Oh, myself? If there's anybody who's allowed to, you know, defy the laws of gravity, it's Dorian. Also, Shady, do you want to laugh? You see the name of that shield? Do you see the armor rating it gives? Now, can I point out that if I go to Cassandra, I don't think that's the best defense. But I am curious about something, although I don't know.
There, Canary, on that upside-down island.
Looks like a camp up there. Down there. Shit, this place is weird.
I do want to try something out before I continue, because I could use with my friend staying alive a little longer. Especially my supposed tank. So I'm going to see if I can create a level 4 version of that shield that might be stronger than the one I have. I kind of just want to, like, yes, I want to make them strong, like I want to make my team stronger and all that. The real reason I want to do that is because I want to see if that shield, the best defense, actually lives up to its name. But yeah, no, I am surprised that there is actually an outfit that can make a Kunari look slim. Because I've been playing the entire game with a buffed up version of Darc. It's not the best shield. Mine is literally better. Well, I'm about to head back. I'm just doing one more sweep because I am curious about one thing.
There must be something here.
Okay, so there should be a harlequin nearby.
Alpha Val Royal must be here. Make her smile.
I was careful in approaching them, but apparently that wasn't enough. Anyway, back into the illusion.
Perhaps Ferelden's position is not so unreasonable.
It's true. Well,
Like I said before, it's the end of an era. Let's see if we have a chance to meet our good friend one more time. Because I assume there's gonna be Solus, because that's the one they've been talking about, I think. Because he's the Dreadwolf. I will say, if this was actually Darc, he would have already figured out that Solus was the Dreadwolf.
There's some of the steps. Let's look around for more. The inverted alluvion must lead to the Canary.
Oh. Guess there's nothing around here. Let's see where this ends up.
Did you notice? Your anchor is flaring up near magic. Elven magic.
It doesn't hurt when I cast spells. What's causing this?
I'm not sure. Tell us if it gets worse.
Virdartara, a flowering imago. The pages of this book, Memory, describe an immensely tall, immensely graceful vine that flowers with the heat of a copper sunset and has blossoms as large as palms, petals as long as a man, and scents puffing out like citron and sky and carrion death. The day the last of the vines folds, spent and extinct, the creator of this memory weeps and, after recording the flower's sights and sounds, enters Utenera. Treasure this thought, for it was the last of its kind, and so much more than the last of me. Virdertara, Duel of 100 Years. The pages of this book, Memory, show a narrow plateau on top of a mountain. Two armored figures, one in gold, one in black, are fighting in the snow. Steel flickers so fast the air hums. Blood dots the ground. They do not stop for breath. The one in black makes no sound as a blade parts his throat. Mittal, in her wisdom, interceded in an argument between Elgarnan and Falundin. With clever words, she convinced them to settle their grievances through a battle of their champions. Elgarnan and Falundin agreed, and set their champions against each other rather than declare war among the gods. May those nights long be remembered, and Mittal's wisdom praised. Virdertara. Attentive listener, the pages of this book, Memory, show a solemn group of elves in an amphitheater of living wood. Entire trees grown into seats and stairs for the listener to recline on. Two other elves and a spirit of learning are speaking in turn on ways to bend the properties of the material world when casting spells. At the end, the spirit, with the air of a senior lecturer, floats forward and booms in a surprisingly deep voice. The unchanging world is delicate. Spells of power invite disaster and annihilation. The unchanging world is stubborn. The pull of the earth fiercely resists, making fire run like water or stone rise like mist. The unchanging world rings with its own harmony. Listen with fearless hearts, and great works will unfold. Virdertara, Birth of Fancy. The pages of this book, Memory, describe a pair playing, colliding in the air. One moment. Bodies formed for kissing, stroking, lines of heat as molten as the sun. The dance is fluid, roiling, never ending, lovers tangled in laughing knot that rolls on for years, a promise never to be parted, whatever ages come. An annoyed thought intrudes from one who marked this memory after it was recorded. By the gods, find a private chamber. So that's the illusion I came out of. There's one illusion there. Yep. To be fair, that memory was already recorded, so whoever was adding that last passage was the one who was intruding. And there's an illusion here. So where does this one lead to? I guess I can't do that one yet. I might want to come back for that one later. So let's check the one on the ground floor first. But first, healing. Enchantment.
These Canari are dead, but there's not a mark on them.
Look at their eyes. They died in fear.
I wonder how painful it is to die by fear. Mentally it must be excruciating, but ultimately doesn't that just stops your heart?
Welcome, welcome. Listen to the last words of those who lived past the fall. How could the Dreadwolf cast a veil between the world that wakes and the world that dreams? The Evenuris will send people. They will save us. When have you last heard from the gods? When the veil came down, they went silent. What is this veil? What has Fen'Harel done?
Are these records saying Fen'Harel created the veil between our world and the Fade?
If it's true,
Alright, I hope you enjoy it, Shady.
and the waking world were once one and the same.
Okay, so that is one way to go, but is there nothing here? The treachery of the wolf. The pages of this book, memory, born of a terrible danger. A wolf with slavering black jaws and pits for eyes. The Evenuris, the elven gods, stand in a ring around it as if preventing it from attacking. Beware the forms of Fen'Harel. The Dreadwolf comes in humble guises, a wanderer who knows much of the people and their spirits. He will offer advice that seems fair, but turns slowly to poison. Remember the price of treason, and keep in your heart the mercy of your gods. Oh, there's a chest. Sigil of Lyrian. Is there anything up here? Requires a veil fire. Now I gotta find that. Research note. These loose pages are scattered about, as if abandoned in a great hurry. Algebraic-looking formulae scroll across the pages, spiked with the dense annotations in Cunlad.
This looks like technical notes. What did the Canary come here to learn?
I recognize some formulas. The Canary are trying to prove theoretical magic of some kind.
These blocks are heading toward that upside-down illuvium.
Can we trust this magic?
It's a place of learning. Maybe this Vir de Thara is helping us find what we need.
That would be interesting. When the Dreadwolf's grate is bright, light burns in a ring of the dead. What? Well, I don't think that helped. Maybe I'll have to return here later? There we go. Oh, wait. I'm not sure this is going to work, but I have an idea. And since I can't take fall damage, Let's see if my idea is gonna work. My idea works. All right. Right. Not a good sword. But I got it, so there's that.
Inquisitor, we must look at your hand.
The pain stopped.
It keeps coming back.
This place is mind-blowing. Okay, that was interesting. I guess those things just had to learn how to behave.
And listen to the last words of those who walked this place. If we get out of here, I will end Fen'Haral. After he held back the sky to imprison the gods, the Dreadwolf disappeared. Lies. We must tear down the veil, the cities, the pathways. Without magic, they're crumbling. You're wasting your time. Fen'Haral's veil has turned our empire to ruins.
So the ancient Elven Empire collapsed because the veil weakened magic?
If what we're hearing is true, this would have been a disaster beyond measure.
Do you realize what this means? What this place is? The actual history of the elves could change everything.
So I have a theory, but I don't know if it's correct. I think that the Golden Palace that a lot of people attribute to the Maker was actually Arlatan, the elven city that disappeared. Because according to those ancient elves, it wasn't the winter that destroyed it. And if what it says is true and the elves fell because the Dreadwolf pulled up the veil, that would mean that the Elven Empire is in the veil, that all its strength is there, which would mean that that's the Golden City. So what everybody thinks is the Maker's Palace is in fact Arlatan.
More dead Canari, with terrified expressions.
At least that's the idea that I'm getting from all the information I'm reading now. I might be wrong. It might just be a theory, but that would be a kicker, wouldn't it?
Look at this place. Now that we have so many samples, how hard would it be to build Illuvians of our own?
Oh, I knew this one apostate in Kirkwall you would have gotten along with like a house on fire.
After these past few years, it would just be good to create something magical that is also helpful for a change.
Is that wise?
If I get around to it, I'll send you an Illuvian, Cassandra. Striking women can never be flattered by too many reflections.
If you get around to it, shall I be forced to accept?
If they're gonna stuff me into politics, I've got to have some fun on the side.
I like Dorian. I actually like this group that I'm currently running with. I like a lot of the people in the Inquisition. Everyone... Everyone but Sarah and Vivian. Heart in Hightown, chapter by Varric Tetris. Dodden whipped spilled ale off the bar, listening to the cries of the birds and the crashing of waves outside. Another slow day on the Amaranthian coast. The tavern didn't get many visitors, just a little too far south of the Antivan border to catch the caravans, but he hadn't opened it to make a profit. He poured a glass of plum brandy from a chipped decanter and carried it out to the patio, where an impressive Elysian mustache was keeping company with an old grey warden playing a minuet on a lute. Dodden handed the brandy to the warden, in some deference to his moustache, and the gentleman accepted it with grace, placing the glass on the table before finishing the last measure of his song. "You have my thank, guardsman." The Elysian set the flute on a nearby chair and allowed the brandy to approach his moustache. The moustache did not appear impressed with the vintage. "It's just Donnan these days," he replied, looking out over the waves. "My time in the Kirkwall Guard is over. I spent so many years in and around the City of Change," the warden sighed. "We're both lucky to have escaped her clutches." The sun was setting behind them, drawing long shadows on the ground that stretched towards the sea. "Maybe," Donnan shrugged, watching the waves turn dark in the distance. "Some days, I'm not sure all of me made it out." "To what we've left behind," the Elysian raised his glass in a toast, and the two men watched the light fade over the ocean in peace.
What the? I never wrote this. You think we could take a couple of these books back with us?
Unfortunately, I don't believe any of these are physical objects. They're ideas. You just see them as books.
I've never read an elven novel. I wonder what kind of stories they told.
Vir the Deepest Fate. The pages of this book, Memory, are instructions on how to reach the deepest parts of the Fate, realms so far removed that they're unmarked by dreamers. Epiphany requires a mind smooth as mirror glass, still as stone. Put aside 10 years for practice, and the next 100 for searching. What others have learned will ease your journey. Those who never manifested outside the Fate will find it easier to find its stillest roots. But it is rare the compulsion overtakes our brethren of the air. Vir raising the Sonalium. The pages of the book, Memory, describe a heated argument between a group of well-dressed elves inside an elaborately arched pavilion on an island floating in a void. In the distance, hallowed by a blizzard of light, thousands of elves are maintaining an elaborate magical ritual that pulls raw essence from the Fate, funneled into a sphere in the air. Although the lens of the sphere can be seen, a world of indigo waterfalls and rust-red jungles, and the temple palace so frescoed and cleverly carved, it is a masterpiece in itself. The well-dressed elves shouting grows so loud it can be heard over the magic. One leaps at another, howling and pulling out a knife burning with prismatic flame. Architects of the Grand Sonalium, a gift from the blessed Celeste to clever June, as thanks for her great favor, in friendly debate over the color of the palace roof trim. Is there anything hidden behind? Doesn't seem like that's the case. So I need to get that veil fire again.
Let's see if we can reach the inverted illuvium now. So now I'm gonna have to do a whole lot of running because I found something I need a veil fire for. And I only know one place where to get it. What?
Mira Mars, Shibera Milavoy.
This is an intense enemy. Are all those spider things? Okay, that's what I needed to know. So now that I can actually blow those up. Whoops. But first and foremost, there's a couple of places I gotta go. So there's going to be a slight delay to finishing it. But finish it I will nonetheless. Now I have another thing I need to check out. I think it's through here. I think I'm better off with that damage resistance. Also, I love how this isn't even a horror game, and this game has a behind you message. Just double checking that there's nothing hidden with veil fire behind here. Nope, nothing. More Kunari, it seems. I wonder what Morgan would say when she knows how her precious Luvians are being used. Nope. I don't think I'm gonna find anything there. There's an archivist spirit there, but I don't know how to get there. So I see a statue. Let me see if I can see that statue from anywhere. Short break. Be right back. And back. Apologies for the wait. There was a minor incident with my smaller wastelander friend. But we are back now and ready to continue. But before we continue, there's a couple of places I need to check.
Greetings.
Let's go.
We'll be going now.
Wisdom guide you.
Because I believe there are, in the past, 2 locations I need to go to that hold the potential to find more secrets. So I'm gonna go check both those locations out first. Especially now that I got my new ability. You know, the one that actually explodes barrels when I use it. There is one here. One location I need to check. And before it's also going to constantly be, are you afraid, Inquisitor? I hope the game didn't freeze. Doesn't seem like it. Come on. Don't fail. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and wait a little longer, but I might need to restart the game. It should just be loading, but it's not much happening. Hey Vic, how you doing? How has Leak been? Also, I'm going to try and restart this, because this is taking an unusually long time to load. I wonder if it's actually crashed, because even Alt F4 is not working. Well, hi Vic. I hope you can get some rest. Okay, let's try this again. I'm doing alright. As you can see, having some issues with Dragon Age, but I'm almost finished. If everything goes as planned and not having too many of these issues, today should be the last day I'm streaming this game. By the way, Vic, it should be like this. By the way, Vic, how's the audio like this? Is it less muffled? Can you hear me better? Been doing a bit of an experiment, and apparently streaming like this should make me more audible than streaming with my big mic. What do you mean was dropping? Also, the quality might be less because this mic is more quiet than my other one. That might be the issue. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Is it any better? Let me just save it again. And let's hope it doesn't end up getting stuck on the loading screen. What do you mean 250%? How do you increase the volume that far? Well, I'm glad I sound less muffled. Oh, okay. But yeah, after doing some experimenting with Teats and Shady, it turns out that this stalking
Completely submerged. Did I mention lately that I can swim? Just keep that in mind.
See where that leads.
But yeah, it turned out this was actually a lot better than using my big mic, which made me not be understood by a lot of people. And it just kind of turned out that this helped me be more audible.
no good.
Look at this mural. Hold on. I see something hidden in it.
If it's like Solus's paintings, it's probably depicting how some elf felt real broody about shit he wouldn't talk about.
Huh. I might just need to fine-tune it a little. I'll talk with Teets and Shady about it. Thanks for your input. Veilfire runes in the deep roads. In the light of the Veilfire, the runes seem to shift, coiling and uncoiling like snakes, a thunderous voice shattering the stillness shouting, "Hail Mito, educator and savior. She has struck down the pillars of the earth and rendered their demesne unto the people. Praise her name forever." For a moment the scent of blood fills the air, and there's a vivid image of green vines growing and enveloping a sphere of fire. The vision grows dark, an aeon seems to pass, then the runes crackle and it's filled with angry energy. A new vision appears, elves collapsing caverns, sealing the deep roads with stone and magic. Terror, heart-pounding ice cold as the last of the spell is cast. A voice whispers, "What the Evanuris in their greed could unleash would end us all. Let this place be forgotten. Let no one wake its anger. The people must rise before their false gods destroys them all."
The runes say the Evanuris fought the Titans. They mined their bodies for lyrium and something else. It's not clear.
That's not a bad start. The gain filter is already in. It's on 8.
Another alluvion.
And if I put it any higher, it's going to spike more. Now one more place I need to visit. A ducking vid? Okay, send it to my DMs. I'll check it out after the stream. Well, I'm streaming again tomorrow, so I can investigate it, and today I want to try and finish this. Because I'm pretty close to the end already. But regardless, send it to me. It can always be helpful. No, I know that I didn't mean anything with it. I do appreciate you helping out. Don't worry, you haven't said or done anything wrong. Wow. Wow. Rude, guys. Really rude. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Also, hi Deets. A compressor? I mean, I can try. Not sure what a compressor does. There is so much options in this. I'll check that out later. And yeah, maybe Teets can help me out when he has a moment. Oh, I see the link, Vic. Thank you. Oh, that could be something to put in later. That's actually a good idea. Thanks, Vic. Now, let's see where this leads.
Survivor of the breach, herald of change, hero of the South.
The Vidisala, I presume.
After fulfilling your purpose at the breach, it is astonishing to hear you still walked free among your people. Your duty is done, Inquisitor. It is time to end your magic.
My mark isn't a danger.
The anchor repairs tears in the veil. I would think you'd approve of that.
Is that all it does? Tell me, why hold your hand as if it's begun to pain you? I am no stranger to catastrophe, but this chaos in the South defies comprehension. The Qun left your people to curb your own magic. You've amply proven we should have stepped in long ago.
So you try mass
Is
assassination.
that what Dragon's Breath is for? Murdering our heads of state just to control our magic?
Do you believe closing the breach solved everything? That its consequences stopped there? The day we saw the breach, the Qun decided its action. We would remove your leaders and spare those who toil. This agent of Fen'Harel has disrupted everything. Lives that were to be spared, lost for him.
Who is this agent? Why would you think they work for the Inquisition?
Kill the Inquisitor, then follow me to the Dargarad.
Oh, trust me. You do not have what it takes to kill me. Where is that mage? Stinking cheater. Okay.
Demons, dragons, and even dark spawn. Now Kunari. I wonder if we will ever run out of things to fight.
I'm just pleased it isn't Venatori. For once, Tevinter isn't the problem.
It's always something, though. The scrap of parchment is written in both Qun Lat, and the common tongue, although the letters in Qun Lat are shaky. Please excuse my Qun Lat. Its subtleties elude me, even with your patient's teaching. We pulled everyone out of the palace. The Shem nobles assumed we were servants leaving on an errand. We are hiding where you told us, waiting for signs that Dragon's Breath has begun. Victory is in the queue.
No wonder the Qunari translated notes into our language. It was for their non-Qunari spies.
Oh. That's a good amulet. But I don't think there's anyone right now who can use it. Because Varric has his set. Cassandra is a tank, doesn't need as much critical hit. Alright, well I hope you have fun. Did you send another video? Oh. Alright, by the way, thanks for the links. The Risk of Sarabas. This sheaf of notes is written mostly in Qmod, but select paragraphs have been translated into the common tongue. Those born outside the Qun will not comprehend the seriousness of using mages to help us. They believe the worst that can befall a mage is demon possession. They do not truly understand that the loss of mastery comes with the loss of the self. Those of the Qun since birth do not understand why we risk using Sarabas. We have immersed them in a sea of magic until it seems impossible they could ever do anything but drown. It is right that we enlighten you, so your purpose here is clear. We have learned from this place that there lived an elven mage who saw a great wrong and sacrificed all to right it. This mage made a veil, which protects us from the fate. This veil stripped power from his rulers, who had treated their people with such excess that it makes the southern kings and queens seem staid. Thus does every action carry righteousness, and paths converge. In his greatest magic, the elven mage became an agent of peace through the veil. In our willingness to brave this place, we may discover how the veil can be strengthened through our own mages. For that we risk our lives. The Sarabas who have joined in this endeavor understand the dangers and have made their choice. Remember the words of Ashkari Kozlun. Existence is choice. There is no chaos in the world, only complexity. Knowledge of the complex is wisdom. From wisdom of the world comes the wisdom of the self. Mastery of the self is mastery of the world. Loss of the self is the source of suffering. Suffering is a choice, and we can refuse it. It is our own power to create the world or destroy it. For peace we will endure any horror here. We will create a safer world or destroy the old one.
These are Vidisala's papers. She brought mages here to research strengthening the veil. It explains why the Qunari thought it was worth camping here.
There's a chest there. Oh, that's how I get there, probably. Ow. Oh, that is on the other side.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open.
Where did Vidisala go?
Can you tell me where a Qunari called the Vidisala went?
Yes, we heard much, although she fooled herself into thinking we could not hear. Take a keystone to the Darvarad. I will join you there soon and take stock of our remaining Gatlock powder.
I have a keystone.
I found a keystone with one of the Qunari.
Yes, and you need words for their key. Maras Nira. It glows. It will open the way to the Darvarad. May you find what you seek. In
Thank
coming
you.
here, you strengthen the bonds. I can now raise one, if you wish to go.
Thank you.
You've been very helpful.
Gildethan was what the Elven called me. One who guides seekers of knowledge true. I was connection. One city could read the records of another. One Elven feel the memories of another. When the veil fell upon us, I marked the end of all they knew.
We've got to find this Darvarad and corner Vidisala there.
Oh boy, so there is only one way. I'll have to find another way to get to that chest. Eventually. I know where this leads though. Oh boy. Yeah, something tells me this isn't going to end well.
Your agents confirm there are Gatlock battles in Denerim's palace?
Yes, and in Val Royeaux and across the Free Marches. The Winter Palace is not the only target.
The Canari are one order from destroying every noble house in the known world.
Oh, there is a bright side. Warning the ambassadors will remind them of the Inquisition's value.
Not when the Inquisition is responsible for that threat.
Where the leak?
This is our fault.
Fault? No. But our responsibility.
How did it happen?
The elven servant handling the barrels confessed to working for the Canari.
But the servant was Orlesian. That implicates Orlais, not us.
But the barrels arrived at the Winter Palace on the Inquisition supply manifest.
How are we supposed to fight a war when we can't even trust our own people?
Who's our leak?
Do you know who got the barrels onto the Inquisition manifest?
Yes, several of the Inquisition's elven workers have gone missing. I had their backgrounds checked. They joined the Inquisition after fleeing the chaos in Kirkwall.
I remember when Kirkwall was at its worst. Many of the city's elves converted to the Qun, trying to find a better life.
And the Canari turned them into spies.
We're part of the problem.
A few years ago, we railed at the mages at Redcliffe for becoming corrupt. We did the same to the Grey Wardens. Look at us now.
I fought to protect the Inquisition in this exalted council. And for what? So we could deceive and threaten those we claimed to protect?
Once we locate the spies...
This isn't about the spies. You hid the Canari body. You all but seized control of the Winter Palace.
We did what was right, not what was politically convenient.
Do you know what this has cost us with Orlais and Ferelden? They are planning to dismantle us as we speak. And perhaps they are right.
I don't know what's happening.
So, it's been getting worse. I don't know why. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know how much time I've got left. What I do know is that the Canari need to be stopped. So I need to get to the Darvarad while I can still fight.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Would you like us to inform the Exalted Council of the danger?
Inform the summit.
Yes, if we fail, the Exalted Council needs to know what happened.
I will inform them personally.
Leliana, I can...
No, your job is hard enough already. This is my responsibility.
I'll have guards ready at the Alluvion. in case the Qunari attack the palace.
Make her watch over you.
Well, there's nothing else to do, so I might as well just go. Well, I do need one thing. Excuse me.
It's been a while since so many kept their space.
No idea why that happened, but okay.
Nightingale told us what happened with your hand.
I'm glad to have known you.
What happens? It has been my honor to fight beside each of you.
All right, Bianca. Let's show all the tall people how it's done. One last time.
Enjoy me while you can. I expect you'll all miss me terribly later.
Thank you. All of you.
The Darbarad. All right, everyone. Get ready.
This is going to be the end. I wonder if we're going to see the Dreadwolf one more time. Our good friend Solus. Would be nice.
Look at this. It's an Illuvian graveyard.
Where did the Qunari get all these? How long have they been studying Illuvians? The sooner we stop this invasion plan, the better.
Illuvian studies. The writing on these pages is completely incomprehensible, even to a native speaker of the Qunlar. The handwriting resembles the scratches of an inebriated chicken, but the drawings are meticulous, an excruciatingly careful study of several Illuvians, along with exploded diagrams of their inner workings.
Oh shit, that can't be good.
It's the final stretch. We're almost there.
Trolling gods. We need to deal with them as quickly as possible. Why are the Kunari calling this plan Dragon's Breath? What do dragons have to do with assassinating heads of state? I don't understand any of this.
Logs of Darvarab Gatekeeper. The entries in this book are written in several different hands and occasionally even different languages. From the few entries in the common tongue, it appears to be a log filled in by the various guards who have watched the gates of the Darvarab. Morning. Artifacts brought in by Hisra Kit. Original location not on manifest. Asked Iskari. Was told they're from ruins. Please remind agents that all relics must be properly catalogued or the Tarbus will never stop complaining about it. Afternoon, 3 kits deployed, including Iskari of Hisra Kit. Told her to write down location in her manifest this time. Evening. Hisra Kit reported back. Iskari handed me manifest just outside the Darvarat, asking my stand for a knife.
That's it. Get them all like that and we're in.
idea what they're dealing with?
No. They might think they do, but they don't.
Sarat. This letter was clearly written a few lines at a time over the course of multiple days, as the ink at the start has already faded slightly. Elf Huris Talis. It is no longer my role to instruct others in the Qun, but I will share what I can with you if it brings you peace. You are not alone in your struggles to achieve mastery of yourself and your purpose. Many Vidatari come to the Qun filled with fear and anger. These feelings build walls brick by brick within the self. They prevent you from seeing the others around you, from seeing the world as it is, and they convince you that you are alone and in darkness, that you must fend for yourselves. The walls are real, but the darkness and the solitude, the world that they create within the self, that is all illusion. You must work to tear down the walls if you wish to see the truth. And the truth is this: no one is alone. It was the wisdom revealed to Coslin in the desert long ago. What looks like solitude is connectedness. What looks like darkness is only the space between stars. This portion of the letter is slightly newer, and the handwriting, which was exceptionally tidy at first, has become somewhat looser, as if written in a hurry. And it is not just Vidatari who struggles with these illusions. The world changes the self, and we must balance mastery upon its turning tides. Once I was in Ashkari, and I spent my days examining the philosophies of the Qun and trying to seek the enlightenment that Coslin found. But my dreams of demons took me down a new path. Here the writing is filled with crossed-out passages and the scripts become shaky. Some of the ink is still wet. And now with the song Liquid crossed out. And now I study the dam which holds back the magic at its source. We will. It is our purpose to. Things change, little Talus. The world changes. Find purpose in people around you, and your role will be clear. Remember when it will be hard to find wisdom in the noise. The noise is an illusion, like the darkness. But the walls are real. Remember that. Tear down the walls first, and you will see the truth. Sarat.
Is that an astrarium? How did the Canary move it here?
A word of advice, stay away from the glowing pyramid. That didn't do the trick.
Scrap of writing from Benhas Rosat agent. Excavated mural, believed to be self-portrait by Fan Harel.
It's no good.
One sees the hunter, one flees from it, one hunts it in turn, one outwits them all. One sees the hunter. Well, I'm not going to solve that now. Maybe another time. Oh boy. Journal notes found in the barracks. There are several entries in this journal, some in Kunlat and some in common, as if the writer were practicing their language skills. The last page reads, "Sent to palace again, moving things along. Bas Shems never notice who comes or goes. When the dragon's breath comes, they won't know what hit them." Oh, that is a good one for... Yeah, let's give that to her. There we go.
Stay with us.
The wounds are getting more severe. Letters and replies. A letter with an Inquisition seal sits half buried in the pile of memos. To the Honorable Salazari, Triumvirate of the Qun. On behalf of the Inquisition, I must humbly inquire as to the hostile actions of your agents in Halam Shiral. We can only view the attacks by Ben Hazrat agents upon our officers and the infiltration and sabotages of the Exalted Council at Haram Shiral as the prelude to a declaration of war. If the Kunari people do not wish to provoke retaliation from the Chantry, these hostilities must cease at once. Respectfully, Ambassador Josephine Montrier. Several incomprehensible messages in Kunlat follow. A letter in common with elegant script has been torn open and scrambled into a ball, but writing is still legible. To Ambassador Josephine Montrier of the Inquisition, the Triumvirate of the Kunari people wishes to assure you that despite the loss of the Dreadnought, Baratlock, and its crew of 100 souls in a failed joint mission with the Inquisition 2 years past, military action has not been approved against the Inquisition. No one in Parvolen has authorized actions of any kind involving the Exalted Council, nor will they. We are seeking out the Ben Hasrat priest who appears to be leading this operation without our consent. Once she is located, we will assure you that these hostile actions will cease. Dragon Breath Plan. This document appears to be written entirely in Kunlat, but contains a number of complicated diagrams, including detailed blueprints of Halam Shiral and a number of other palaces and fortresses. They're unlocking alluvians.
Morgan said the key to an alluvian could be anything, including knowledge or power. So they're stockpiling both. That's how they got the keystone and opened so many of the alluvians we've seen.
They will have defenses in place. We must not stumble into anything blindly. Is that a copy of Swords and Shields?
Short break. We'll be back in a moment. Well, I don't think we need supplies right now. I think we're about to get to the end. Oh wow, I didn't even realize. Now we need to stop the dragon's breath. And that was it for the break, so right in time to finish this once and for all.
Dragon's breath is an actual dragon?
Tethar! Bars!
Inquisition! Nira Tasia Sara! Niraba Sadim Kata! You have come far enough, Inquisitor. No more.
You're not going to stop me. Also, their information must be really outdated if they think the dragon can stop me. Is it crashing again? I'm not gonna lie, these crashes are making it very anticlimactic. You know what I have to say to that, Tates? You know what I have to say to that?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
It's getting really hot. I also see a nerd that's playing Destiny too. I don't know if the nerd is in chat though. Alright. Order posted in the factory. As I was saying, order posted in the factory. Portions of this are in indecipherable cumulate with what might be formulas in an unfamiliar number system. One section has been translated for Vidatari workers in the factory, then circled repeatedly, underlined, with arrows drawn around it by someone who was clearly very insistent that it be read. For primers, combine no more than 1 part Atashi venom with an actual amount of Deathroot Oxin and 3 parts powdered silverite. Adding more venom will dissolve the casing on the primers here in the factory and will fill the room with deadly gas. Whoever keeps getting the formula wrong needs to see me immediately. We have a great many primers to make on a tight schedule and cannot afford any more delays due to mistakes. Animal Handler's Logbook. The first half of the logbook appears to be notes that care and feeding of animals in the Free Marches Lord's manor. After that, it shifts into practice phrases in Kunlat. Later, it begins anew again with the following. Beasts presents chafing around limbs and tail, likely from attempts to use chains. While its natural strength remains, muscles are slack from confinement. Tardatras said she initially tried drugging the beast, but the amount required to keep it sedated changed the quality of its venom so that it was no longer useful in producing gutlock. She says fire has kept it under control, while the heated panels keep it in a state of comfortable drowsiness. Tardatras is not as good as deception as she thinks she is. She does not like what we are doing to the beast. She calls it Atashi, which means something like grating, and she repeats saying from the Kyun to herself when she extracts the venom. I do not disagree with her. I saw enough harm done to innocent beasts at my lord's sneering commands. The beast, the Atashi, deserve better than to pry bars and needles we use upon it each time to drain its venom gland. Tardatras says I may be needed at the Winter Palace. It is likely that some view elves with suspicions, thanks to these attacks by the agents of Van Harel, but a human woman may still pass unnoticed among the servants. She says I may be asked to deliver more gutlock in different containers. She says that it could be dangerous, and that if I do not return, most will assume I am dead. As I said, Tardatras is not as good at deception as she thinks she is, but she is right. I did not join the Queen for this.
Obviously need the dragon's venom. No dragon, no more plan.
Her captors have already mutilated her. It seems needlessly cruel to kill her.
We will not let you cut down the Atashi.
Let me just look something up. I hope this doesn't end up pressing anything. Just looking up how to free the dragon because I don't. Hey Haru, how are you doing? It's been a while. How have you been holding up? You just got me in the middle of how to free a dragon. Oh, I see. Oh, oh, oh. I'm trying to free you. Oh. Please don't spot me. Please don't spot me.
Got it. It's opening.
Hashara! Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Fen'Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
Dragon's breath is no better.
Whatever you think I've done, mass assassination isn't a good moral high ground.
The South was poisoned by these elves' manipulations. It suffers just as you do now. Aside from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition.
Sorry, I was distracted trying to set things up,
Agent
but...
of Fen'Harel.
What?
I'm not Solus's puppet.
Whatever Solus is involved in, I'm nobody's puppet.
Even now, you refuse to see the strings. Solus tricked us all. He pushed a dying Canary into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades. Anaheda, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solus will not outlive you.
Sorry, I was a bit distracted, so I couldn't read the messages, but... Yeah, no, I managed to free the dragon. Better than I thought it would. We've got to save Solus.
Whatever else, Solus was one of us. I won't leave him for Vitisala.
What is that supposed to mean?
The Vitisala cannot have gotten far.
There, up ahead.
So did Haru.
Everyone back!
The anchor now builds up power even faster. Using it is difficult, but discharges all accumulated focus. If the focus reaches full power, the anchor discharges uncontrollably, damaging you and your allies as well as nearby enemies. See? Point proven.
If it keeps up like this, it will kill you. Solus must help, as he did at Haven.
Chuckles, who apparently works for Fen'Harel. So is the quiet ones.
I don't think he works for Fen'Harel, guys. I think he is Fen'Harel.
That must be where Solus is.
I mean, I'm not faulting you for being in a game as long as you're enjoying it.
There's the big Sarabas who's always with the bit of
I haven't played League in years, Haru. I mean, if I understand it correctly, I think Haru's playing League. You're alive, but are you living? I must be getting close to where Solus is.
The big guy's headed our way.
Where is he? Oh, there he is. No, he can't move? That's not fair. Come on.
Be ready. They have reinforcements.
Ready.
It seems the Cerebas is no longer following orders.
Oh. Well, he ran again. Well, the leader for warriors, for the Kunari to be a warrior race, those leaders are really good at running.
We must hurry.
I mean, to be fair, Vic has never liked that dog. Yeah. I wonder what's through that other mirror. Let me double check. Because that's not the way I came, that's the way I came.
One of the mirrors must lead out of here.
Oh. I see. Then they're fake mirrors. Oh, I thought it was glitching again.
Let us finish this! You are dead, Inquisitor! Your soul is dust!
Then why don't you stop running and fight? I was gonna say, I think my visuals are glitching a little. Wouldn't it be anticlimactic if the leader was also turned to stone?
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata!
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Canary to trouble me no further.
Told you.
Solus.
should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
The Qunari were trying to kill you. I wanted to get here first.
I know. They sought an agent to Fan Harel. I am no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Qunari believe.
You're Fan Harel.
I was soulless first. Fan Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dreadwolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
You fought for freedom.
The Dalish legends about the evil trickster god are wrong. I saw the truth in the crossroads.
You saw another story, written in desperation to give me more credit than I ever deserved.
You were a hero, Solus.
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fan Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
The problem is I can't pick anything by the mouse, so I need to do it like this.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via de Thara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. The elven legends of immortality, all true. It was not the arrival of humans that caused them to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
The Evan-Uris were elven mages? How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, and finally gods. The Evan-Uris.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evan-Uris would have destroyed the entire world.
You banished the false gods? You didn't kill them?
You met Mythol, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evan-Uris are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
You said that the elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythol. Crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythol was one of the Evan-Uris.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
What happens next?
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evan-Uris down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Solus, whatever you want, this world dying is not the answer.
Not a good answer, no. Sometimes terrible choices are all that remain. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave him your orb?
You gave your orb to Corypheus?
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Tevinter Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What was meant to happen?
What would have happened if Corypheus had died and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
Truly?
I never thought of you as someone who would do that, Solus.
Thank you. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
Whatever your reasons, we couldn't have defeated Corypheus without you.
Your doubts are misplaced. Everything you accomplished, you earned.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization. And now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why did you help?
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
Thanks.
I guess we owe you for that one too.
I hope it gives your people some final peace.
What about the Illuvians?
You control the Illuvians now?
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Qunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
What about the mosque?
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
Yes. I'm sorry. And we are almost out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
You don't need to destroy this world. I'll prove it to you.
I would treasure the chance to be wrong once again, my friend. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
To be fair, amongst the community, he's called the Egg.
Now. We stand on the brink of war with the Canary.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
The Inquisition did not cause this threat. We informed the Summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Canary spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, you would not be allowed to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Inquisitor.
We will keep the peace.
You all know what this is. A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. I'm proud to say we accomplished that goal. We will honor the sacrifices of those who gave their lives in defense of what we stood for, and still stand for. Because our work is not done. Where we led in war, we will now serve in peace. The Inquisition will act as Divine Victoria's personal honor guard. Answering directly to her, we will transition from a military force into a peacekeeping organization. My own adventuring days may be done, but the Inquisition and its mission will continue.
I don't know.
Well, I lost an arm. Over the next several months, the Inquisition, as the Divine's personal guard and peacekeeping force, the Inquisition shrank to a more manageable size. Many who had served went home, though the remaining force was still enough to give pause to any who might threaten the Divine's plans. Those who served the new Inquisition were tested and checked thoroughly, in the hopes of ferreting out any more spies within its ranks. With the dragon's breath disrupted and any hope of a swift victory dashed, the Qunari retreated back to the north. Few knew what debates were waged in Parvolen, but not long after the Exalted Council, the Qunari launched new attacks against the Vinter. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium of Darc. The Vinter was soon murdered in war many fear could spread across Status. The Exalted Council remained intact, advising Divine Victoria on important matters. Cassandra served for several years. While she often disagreed with Liliana's policies, the former right and left hands of the Divine shared a mutual respect and worked well together. Cassandra also spent time in the Huntshorn Mountains north of Orlais, where she worked on rebuilding the Seekers. For a time, the new Seekers remained reclusive, showing no interest in worldly affairs and working to purpose few outside their orders could guess. At the end of the Inquisition, as it had been, sent shockwaves through the College of Enchanters. Madame de Fer ably played on the mage's fears. Her followers united to build a new circle, with Vivian as its Grand Enchantress, in direct competition with the College. What the circle lacked in numbers, they made up for politic connections. Soon they were a force to be reckoned with. That just sounds like someone being petty that she didn't get what she wanted. The two institutions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the south, vying for power. After the Exalted Council, Liliana devoted herself fully to the Sunburst throne and her dream of reshaping the Chantry. Within a year, she removed restrictions surrounding Chantry priesthood, allowing men and women of all races to be initiated and ordained. This decree was followed swiftly by her decision to return to the Canticle of Charton to the canonical chant, a move that divided Andrastians deeply. A rebellion to renounce her and return the Chantry to its former state arose, beginning first in Orlais, then spreading to other parts of Thedas. Divine Victoria was resolute, holding her ground even after several unsuccessful attempts on her life. Seemingly unconcerned with the assassination attempts, she held up the hostility leveled against her as proof that she was on the right path. Sarah left the Inquisition with scarcely more ties than when she began, disappearing back into her confusing weaves of favors and friends. After seeing the world brought to the brink by arrogance and pride, it was a blessing to return to normal, however strange and normal it might be. with frequent visits to her widow, of course. Perhaps not unnerving was Sarah's standing offer to the divine. Perhaps most unnerving was Sarah's standing offer to the divine. Have a good one, Vic. Sweet dreams. When the knobs piss about with your left hand or right, call on Red Jenny to give them the 2 fingers. Varric took up the role of Viscount, and with the help of his friend Hawk, rebuilt Kirkwall's damaged infrastructure. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as the major trade hub of the Free Marches. He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Prince of Starkhaven. With the Inquisition in its new role, the Bull Chargers returned to taking jobs through Orlais and Ferelden. Fighting demons and clearing out the remains of Venatori forces, the Iron Bull did his part to restore order to Thedas. After the Inquisition transitioned to a peacekeeping role, Colin continued to serve as commander of its forces. I respect Colin. He's been one of the best characters in the entire show. Under his leadership, the Inquisition protected the Divine's interest while enforcing new standards of security. Colin also expanded the Chantry's treatment for Templars whose minds were taken by Lyrium, as well as those who wished to seize Lyrium usage. And as chaos reigned in the north and threats to the Divine lurked in every shadow, Colin remained ready to serve. Dorian returned to Tevinter to take his father's place in the Magisterium. As rumors flew about the Imperium's infighting, Dorian was spoken of often as a voice of resistance against corruption. Along with Magister Maveris Tilani, he formed a group called the Lucerni to restore and redeem Tevinter, a fight many thought hopeless. Those fighting by Magister Pavis' side noted that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisitor via message crystal. Whether for vital information or for moral support, these talks seemed to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight. Tom Rainier was shown mercy when none was deserved, and set on a path of redemption. This gift so compassionately given needed to be shared. Freed from his obligation to the Inquisition, Rainier traveled Thedas, giving hope to the condemned and the forgotten. In the deepest prisons and pits of Thedas, he found, if not goodness itself, its potential. By showing faith in those who had none, Rainier lifted them up and made them into something better than they were. After easing the Inquisition's transition into the Chantry, Josephine returned to Antiva and her family. Thanks to the Inquisitor's help, the Montpelliers were once again permitted to trade in Orlais. The next few years were a busy time, as many ships with the Montpellier's crest were built and set sail again from Antiva's harbors. Soon, Raveni pirate captains with an ancient feud against Josephine's ancestors took to the seas, determined to rekindle the rivalry. Apart from Josephine's sister Yvette merely eloping with a dashing pirate prince on one occasion, Lady Montpellier took the development in stride. The Inquisitor found himself warmly received by Josephine's family, and House Montpellier soon became a second home. A place where the Inquisitor could at last find peace for a time, with Josephine happily by his side. Cole took to the roads with Maiden to find a new life and a new way to be human. Wherever Meriden went to sing, people found old pains eased and hearts made happier, even if they didn't understand why. Nice one, Teets. After the events at the Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances, as did elven servants across Status. None could say where they went, but those who believed the Inquisitor's story about Fen'Harel wondered just how large the Dreadwolf's forces were. And what the ancient elves rebel had planned. What the ancient elven rebel had planned. Forever marked.
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
Maintaining the Inquisition, even as a peacekeeping force, leaves us vulnerable to agents of the Dreadwolf.
But also gives us the strength to respond.
We will need to be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
This is a really good story. Hey Teets, I'm looking forward to seeing you play through this. If you ever get around finishing Origins. By the way, Teets. I have gutter. I had gutter. Got to grabble. Got to retrieval. Do any of your cats allow this? To be fair, she usually doesn't like it either. Occasionally she'll allow it, because she knows I like it. Ow, 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 ow.
What is this? A new book? All this shit is weird. Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking?
Are you still reading Varric's books?
The sky
I never
churned
flip her
like
claws.
a rolling sea on a dark and stormy night, centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day: comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition.
Oh my god, Cassandra!
The din of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. Not playing, weirdy, she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a row. Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine.
Oh my god, peeps. I just love how cursed you are.
The court enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wineglass. She sized me up with a glance. I'm so glad you made it, my dear, she said. I am Madame the Fair, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet.
Okay, this is actually funny. This is like a good ending to this.
Liliana enfolded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. I always knew I could count on your support. The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. Even if it requires your death.
I also love the fact that it's Cassandra reading it of all people.
Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. The silverite wings of valor, they mean nothing. He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic.
Oh my god, Cassandra. I'm not even reading the subtitles at this point. I'm just listening
like
to...
a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone. That makes as much sense as anything Cole says. Do you place your herald above the law, ambassador? Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law.
I'm having too much fun with this.
We left our mark on adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning.
If you'd caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double.
What is even happening here? The Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sins. Come on, he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually.
I mean, it's he is as blunt as his name.
The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair. This isn't just a war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war. Cullen! That's Cullen!
Yes, yes, that's Cullen.
The mage wore a class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian, he glared. D-O-R-I-A-N. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time. A toad? That's hardly credible.
Dorian would do that, though.
The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. You're crazy, the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh, Varric.
I'm curious what he's going to have written about the Inquisitor.
Wait, where am I? I don't... Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful. Varric, I was wrong about everything, she sobbed. Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me?
Varric.
That dwarf, he put me in the book. I'm in the book. I am reading the shit out of this.
And no word on the Inquisitor? To all of you who played Dragon Age Inquisition, who laughed, cried, and reached out on social media, who made fan art and comics and cosplay and jokes, thank you. Dragon Age Inquisition was a labor of love. Without you, it would have never been possible. Your support and your passion touched us deeply. We hope that in some small way this game touched you as well. Bear your blade and raise it high. The Dragon Age team. That was a marvelous ending to a marvelous game. And with that kind of premise, I can't wait to play Dreadwolf. I hope Dreadwolf builds on what's already there, because if they do, it's going to be a great game. And I can't wait to see where it's going to go. So for now, let me see if there's any additional content. No additional content. So let's see if there's anyone we can raid. No worries. Hmm. Well, let's go rate another Dragon Age players. So with that, I wish you all a pleasant evening. Stay safe out there, Wastelanders. It's a dangerous world out there.